Hello there. As a pediatrician, and maybe even more so as a mom of two, I get it. You bring this tiny, perfect little person home, and suddenly you're hit with this level of worry you never knew was possible, especially when it comes to sleep. You are just so tired, you're overwhelmed, and all you really want is to know that your baby is safe while they're resting. So today, we're going to cut right through all the noise and give you some clear, simple steps so you can get a little peace of mind. And isn't that the absolute truth? The sleep deprivation, it is so real. I have been there, believe me, walking the floors at 3 a.m, and I see it every single day with the new parents in my practice. So this isn't just about a list of rules. It's about really understanding how tough this is and giving you the tools to get through it so that when you finally get a chance to sleep, you can actually rest. Okay, so let's talk about the serious stuff. And I'm not doing this to scare you. I promise it's to empower you. Because understanding the risks, things like SIDS, that's sudden infant death syndrome, and accidental suffocation, well, knowing about them is the single most important first step we can take to prevent them. Now, when you see a statistic like that, it's so easy to get lost in the worry. But here's what I want you to focus on: the incredible power that you have in your hands. Yes, the risks are real, but the most important part of this whole conversation is that so many of these tragedies are preventable. The simple steps we're about to go over create a safe space that protects your little one every single time they go to sleep. All right, if you only remember one thing from our chat today, please let it be this. The American Academy of Pediatrics came up with this super simple, really powerful way to remember the basics, the ABCs of safe sleep. This is it. This is the foundation, the golden rule for every nap and every single night. First up, A is for alone. Now, what does that mean? It means your baby should be in their own separate sleep space, like a crib or a bassinet with absolutely nothing else in there with them. I know the instinct is to make it all cozy and soft, but when it comes to sleep safety, less is absolutely more. Next, B is for on their back. For the entire first year of life, your baby needs to be placed on their back to sleep every single time. This is one of the most effective things we have ever discovered for reducing the risk of SIDS. Now, they might eventually learn to roll over on their own, and that's okay, but you always start them on their back. And finally, C is for in a crib. Now, crib here is kind of shorthand for any safety-approved sleep surface. So that could be a standard crib, a bassinet, or even one of those portable play arts. The important thing is that it's a firm, flat surface that was specifically designed for a baby to sleep on safely. So when we say alone in the crib, what does that really look like? It looks, well, empty. The crib should be totally bare except for a mattress with a tight-fitting sheet. That means no soft, fluffy pillows, no thick quilts or blankets, and definitely no bumper pads, even though they look cute. All of those things are a suffocation risk. No stuffed animals, no sheepskins, and a big one these days, absolutely no weighted blankets or weighted swaddles. An empty crib really is a safe crib. Okay, so we've got the ABCs down pat. Now let's build on that, because it's not just what's in the crib. The entire sleep environment plays a huge role in keeping your baby safe. Let's dig into the details of setting up that perfect little safe sleep nest. 32. This number tells such a powerful story. It's the number of infant deaths that were linked to drop-side cribs. Those were the ones where one side could slide down. And that led to a complete overhaul of federal safety standards back in 2011. It's just a really stark reminder of why you should never, ever use an old, broken, or modified crib. Safety standards change for a reason, and they're there to protect our kids. So here's your checklist for creating that safe environment. Number 1. Keep the baby's crib in your room for at least the first 6 months. This is called room sharing, and it can actually cut the risk of SIDS by as much as half. It's amazing. Make sure the mattress is firm with that tight sheet. Don't let the baby get too hot. Just think one more light layer than what you're comfortable in. And finally, offering a pacifier when you put them down to sleep has also been shown to be protective. Okay, now for some real talk. As a mom, I know sometimes you do everything right and your baby just will not settle on their back. It can be so frustrating. So let's talk about a tool that can be a real game changer when it's used correctly, swaddling. But the key words there are correctly and safely. You've seen this, right? You finally get your baby to sleep, they're all peaceful and quiet, and then boom, their arms and legs just flail out and they wake themselves up, usually crying. It happens all the time, and there's a really cool biological reason for it. It's called the Moro reflex. It's a completely involuntary startle response that all babies are born with. They literally can't help it. And understanding that really shows you why swaddling can work so well. By wrapping them up nice and snug, we can help calm that reflex so it doesn't wake them up. And that can mean longer, more peaceful sleep for everybody. Okay, so let's quickly walk through how to do the burrito wrap. You start with a thin blanket, lay it out like a diamond, and fold that top corner down. Put your baby on their back on the blanket. Then, bring one side across their body and tuck it snugly underneath them. Fold the bottom part up, making sure there's plenty of room for their little legs to move. And finally, bring that last corner across and tuck it in. The most crucial part is step 6. Make sure you can easily fit 2 or 3 of your fingers between the swaddle and your baby's chest. It needs to be snug, but not too tight for them to breathe comfortably. Let's be absolutely crystal clear on the safety rules here because this is where it really, really matters. Safe swaddling means their hips are loose enough to bend up and out, kind of like a little frog. Wrapping them too tightly can cause hip problems. It also means they're always put on their back. And maybe the most important rule of all, you have to stop swaddling as soon as your baby shows any signs of trying to roll over. A baby who can roll is not safe in a swaddle anymore. You know, we focus so much on the baby, but a safe baby needs a healthy, supported parent. And that is so hard when you are just running on empty. So let's switch gears for a minute and talk about you. How can you stay safe and take care of yourself through all this? Here are a few practical tips. First, try to create a simple little routine that signals it's time for sleep. For those late night feedings, if you feel yourself starting to doze off while you're holding the baby, and it happens, set an alarm or ask your partner to just sit with you. And I know everyone says this, but it's true. Seriously try to nap when the baby naps. The laundry can wait. But most importantly, please accept help. You were never meant to do this all by yourself. I really want you to let this sink in for a second. What you're doing right now is one of the hardest things you will ever do. It is challenging, and it is completely okay to feel overwhelmed. You're doing a great job. So be kind to yourself and just know that this really intense period, it does pass. It really, truly does get better. So the ABCs are really the heart of safe sleep. But over the years, research has shown us a few other things that add these powerful protective layers on top of that. Think of these as extra ways to build a fortress of safety around your baby. The thing is, a healthy baby is a safer baby. We know that breastfeeding, for example, helps reduce the risk of SIDS. Keeping up with all your baby's immunizations is also protective because it prevents illnesses that can make them more vulnerable. And finally, creating a completely smoke-free environment in your home, in your car, everywhere is absolutely vital. Exposure to smoke really impacts the baby's breathing. So, we'll end on this thought. You now have the knowledge to create a safe sleep space for your baby. But who else watches them? A grandparent? A babysitter? Your final and maybe most important job is to share this information. Make sure that every single person who cares for your child knows these rules and follows them every single time. Thank you so much for taking this time to learn how to protect your little one. You've got this.